Om Shanti. Good evening, everyone.
Tinaben, your voice is echoing.
Yeah, now it's better. I turned
Yes,
off the device.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So the Murli Manthan that we will do was suggested was to take up this Murli, which was revised on 20th of July 2023 in the Avyakt Murli Club group. And the Murli was originally dated as 9th of January 1975. And the essence of this Murli was close and equal and subtle and great. So just to understand what Baba is saying to us with that Murli is that when he's saying close and equal, only those who are equal can really be close to Baba, right? And that stage Baba is calling as the Karmatit stage, which he calls is the experience of depth of Baba's knowledge, is an experience of greatness, because there is no bondage, there is no type of trap or vices or anything. You're completely liberated. You're completely finished with your business on this planet, if you will, right? And so if I want to create this karmatit stage, which is like you're beyond, you like a lotus, you don't have any influence of this world or any influence of the karma as such. So Baba was asking in this Murli, what are the signs? And the signs, he said, is equal to the qualities, different stages, and there is equality in those stages. So there are around 10 signs he included, or 10 stages, if you will, that he included. So we will walk through one at a time, and then we will also try to experience it intermittently to see if I can actually stabilize myself in that stage in 1 second. Because Baba is saying that anytime an exam can come. Now, if the exam comes, then the question is, am I ever ready? And in this Murli, he's not happy with just ever ready. He said, are you constantly ever ready? Right? And so if I have to be constantly ever ready, the definition he gave of constantly ever ready is that you receive an order from Baba, and as soon as Baba says something, the child or I, the soul, I should have that stage at that instant. That is the definition of being constantly ever ready. Not that Baba said to me today, and then I do it after 10 days. Or Baba said to me one time, and then I do it some another time. But the sign of being an ever ready master in this is you have to do it immediately, instantly. Yeah. So let's look at those aspects. The first one that Baba said was having this experience where in 1 second I am in this world playing my part in this land where there is concept of sound, right? Because I have a body, there is element of space, there is element of sound. So Baba is saying that automatically this is the world of sound, whereas this is the Nirvana, which is the land beyond sound. So it should be very easy for me to be here in this body, talk whatever I have to talk, and then disconnect with this body, and then go into this land, which is beyond sound, and experience complete stage of stillness, complete stage where there is no sound. Yeah. So let's practice this. Let's stabilize ourselves in 1 second. Right now, we are in this land of sound. And then as soon as this part finishes, I feel I have few moments now where I don't need to play a part on this physical land, physical world. So I separate myself, and within a second, I move beyond sound. I move beyond sound. see yourself going far beyond this world and stepping into the land which is beyond sound.
से भरे अंदाज में बुलाए बाबा पुकार के बच्चिया आवाज से परे मधुर साज से भरे अंदाज में बुलाए बाबा पुकार के बच्चिया सितारों से दूर सितारों का जहां रहता परम सितारा बेहद सुकून वहां सितारों से दूर सितारों का जहां रहता परम सितारा बेहद सुकून वहां बच्चिया बच्चिया
Just experience complete stillness. And now Baba is talking about, for 1 second, experience corporeal form, being in this corporeal body, I, the tiny point of light. So there has to be equality in this stage where I am in the corporeal body performing karma yogas versus I liberate or separate myself from the corporeal body and become just a tiny point of light and stabilize in that soul conscious stage. So in 1 second, I see myself as a tiny point of light in the body. And then in the next second, I see myself beyond this body, above, separated from this body. So the balance or the equality in the stage of being in the body versus being just an incorporeal point of light. A point of light in the corporeal form is the karma yogi form, or it can also be called as an angelic form. But when I am in the incorporeal point of light form, I am beyond the consciousness of body. I am in that complete soul conscious stage. So experience this stage of being a soul in the body and a soul without the body.
सुख दुख ये खेल लगते सारे हैं, खेल लगते सारे हैं।
It is very, very simple to experience this stage where I am playing my part, I am playing my role on this planet. And whenever I don't have any role to play, then I can simply separate myself and be in the stable stage of soul consciousness. Then Baba said there has to be equality in listening and becoming. So I listened to Baba's versions and I become an embodiment of that. And this was one of the qualities that Mama had, for example, Manmohini Bibi had. They would listen to Baba's versions and instantly imbibe them. They would practice them. So Baba was saying, you listen and you become. So if Baba is saying, children become very sweet, so I've heard this now, but then in practical, I also have to become very sweet, right? So that is the practice where I need to bring equality in my listening and becoming. Otherwise, I listen to Baba's versions, but they fall out from the other ear, or I let them go out the other ear, then listening to the Murli is not enough, right? Knowing the knowledge is not enough, but I have to become that. And in the same way, Baba was saying, you churn the knowledge and then you become absorbed in that knowledge. So I listen to Baba's Murli and then I churn. What does it mean? Why is Baba saying that Karmatit stage is a stage that will reveal my greatness? So if I can understand that, because that is the stage of freedom, that is the stage of liberation, anyone who's liberated or is making even an effort to be liberated is considered a great soul. So if I churn this, I understand it, I imbibe it, and then I become absorbed in that stage. For example, when Baba says, children have true love for one Baba, that means my heart should be only attached to one Baba. There is no other string attached to my heart. My heart is completely occupied by one Baba, and there is that experience of being absorbed in love of one, right? Which we call as love lean stage. So this is the equality in these two aspects. One, I listen and I become, or I churn and I imbibe that knowledge instantly. I absorb the knowledge instantly, right? So that is where I need to bring equality. Same, should be same. And then Baba said, think versus practice. You think something. Let's say I think that from today onwards, I have to be very obedient to Baba. Now, this is a thought that emerged in my mind, right? But then I have to ask myself, am I putting it into practice? So if I want to become obedient, that is my thought, then I have to practice obedience in my actions, in my words, in my day-to-day routine, right? So if I say I want to be peaceful, then I should practice peace. No matter what is happening around me, if there is peace around me and I remain peaceful, good. But even if there are storms around me, even if there are situations and upheaval and I don't know what not, but I have to maintain that peaceful stage. That is the practice, right? So I think and then I practice. So Baba says, think good for everybody. So then I have to practice to think good for everybody, because it's not easy. Sometimes some people will say something to you, and then in spite of that, am I able to remain and practice what I have thought about? And then Baba said, see, but don't see. Like Baba said, see, but at the same time, it's like you are detached. You're like an observer, but you're not absorbing anything inside. So this is a thing about the chit, you're seeing, but you're not seeing. So you're not taking in anything inside. You're not absorbing anything inside. Yeah. So let's practice this. You think of some beautiful thought. You're seeing something around you, but you completely detach yourself from that and let no thoughts about what you're seeing come, but the thought that you want to create, let that thought emerge, right? And then practice that aspect of thinking and then actually doing it at the same time.
बन के फरिश्ता प्यारे बाबा हमको फरिश्ता बना रहे, बन के फरिश्ता प्यारे बाबा हमको फरिश्ता बना रहे, सूक्ष्म वतन से करके इशारा, सूक्ष्म वतन से करके इशारा बड़े प्यार से बुला रहे, बन के फरिश्ता प्यारे बाबा हमको फरिश्ता बना रहे। साकार पालना क्या खूब थी, अव्यक्त में वही पा रहे, साकार पालना क्या खूब थी, अव्यक्त में वही पा रहे, अव्यक्त में अव्यक्त मिलन साकार सा हम मना रहे, आज भी हर पल बाबा तेरे वरदानों को हम पा रहे, बन के फरिश्ता प्यारे।
So, practicing this aspect of immediately seeing myself in 1 second in this world, seeing things around me, and yet remaining completely detached. And then Baba said, you need the equality in the aspect of using the facilities that you have, whether it is the facilities of science, whether it is the facilities of nature or elements, whatever it is, right? And then if that facility is not there tomorrow, then am I able to maintain my sadhana, my spiritual endeavor, even in absence of the facilities? So very gently ask yourself, is there any facility that I am too much dependent on today? If I have and I'm using it, that is good. But if I don't have that facility, then will I be okay? Would I still be able to maintain my stage, my endeavors, my effort, or will my effort be affected? Will my intellect be pulled towards those facilities, right? So 1 second, I use the facility, and then in another second, I go beyond all the facilities. I stabilize myself in my stage of being a spiritual effort maker. So you ask yourself, is this possible? Or is there any form of dependency on any facility? And then Baba said, the equality in the stage of connecting with everyone around you, that they feel you belong to them. but at the same time, you remain detached, that nobody clings onto you, nobody attaches themselves to you, nobody becomes dependent on you, nobody looks at you as their entire support system, leaving Baba's side, right? So I have to connect and disconnect. So connect with Baba or connect with the world around me, but also remain very detached, remain in that stage where I'm easily able to go beyond. If Baba says, child, you have to come now. So I can't say I have attachment to this one and that one and that one. No, I have to be very, very detached. So practice this, bring into your awareness all your people that you're connected with. Bring into your awareness all the people, whether they are BKs, whether they are non-BKs, whether they are from immediate family or whether they're distant relative, whether they are the ones who stay with you in your house or whether they are the ones that work with you at the workplace. Bring all the people and see your network. You are in the center of this network and you're absolutely connected with each and every soul. You have a very, very beautiful relationship with everyone. Even though there might be differences of opinion, but the soul to soul connection is in your awareness, and the relationship of brotherhood, the relationship of love is very evident in this network. Feel the connection with every soul. Experience you are connected to everyone, just like the seed is connected to the whole tree. So I, in the center of this network, I am connected with every soul. And now allow a little string of thought to emerge from the center of your forehead and let that string travel and go far into the distance, into the land beyond sound, connected with Baba, and see how Baba pulls you up. Baba is able to pull you up because you're not entangled in this network. You have your own separate place, very detached, and Baba is able to pull your intellect. You're able to remain detached. And it is in this state that I'm actually able to spread my light wide and far into the distance. And everybody in my connection, in my network, is able to receive that light. Experience this beautiful equality in the stage of being connection, having connection in 1 second, and then remaining completely detached in another second. And then Baba talked about the next equality, the next aspect of where I use the organs. I use my physical senses when I need to use them. And then when I don't need to use them, then I'm easily able to go beyond these senses. So the senses don't pull me, the senses don't disturb me, the senses don't have any kind of attraction. My eyes see what I want to see. My ears listen to what I want to listen. My mouth speaks the words that I want it to speak. My hands do the actions that I want them to do, including my subtle senses of mind, intellect, and sanskars. I am a self-sovereigner. Whilst in the body, I use these senses to my advantage. I use these senses, and the senses are also very cooperative. But as soon as I realize that I am no longer in need for these senses to be used, so I separate myself from the senses. I realize the clear separation of the soul with the body, and I am able to go beyond. I don't feel the need to use the senses at all times. Experience that I am the master in the center of the body, having the rulership over the senses.
मस्तक सिंहासन पे हम आत्माएं राजन बने और शासन चलाएं कर्मेंद्रियां कर्मचारी हमारी भ्रिकुटी बीच दरबार अपना सजाएं मस्तक सिंहासन पे हम आत्माएं राजन बने और शासन चलाएं करे मंत्रणा मिलके मन मंत्री से समाचार पूछे सजग संतरी से बड़ी सावधानी से इस राजधानी को माया की छाया से पल पल बचाएं मस्तक सिंहासन पे हम आत्माएं राजन बने और शासन चलाएं कर्मेंद्रियां कर्मचारी हमारी त्रिकुटी बीच दरबार अपना सजाएं
So as I realize that I am the master, I am the self-sovereigner, it is easy to create equality in the stage where I use my senses when I need to use them, and I go beyond using the senses when I don't need to use them, right? There was another one more aspect that Baba mentioned, which was having a stage where you're having heart-to-heart conversation with Baba, and then another stage where now you're completely stabilized in the stage of spirituality, which is more like no conversation, no thoughts. You just become. It's sort of like stage of bliss, stage of spirituality, where I don't feel the need to talk anymore. I'm done with my talking or my conversation with Baba. So it is the stage where I am in my angelic form, sitting with Baba, having a deep and sweet heart-to-heart conversation. And then when I am done with that, then I just experience myself as a spiritual being, as a tiny point of light who's connected with the Supreme Soul, and that's it. No conversation, no asking, nothing else is going on. You're just in that stage. You're just being, if you will. You're not doing anything, but you're just being. And so that is, again, a very, very beautiful stage to experience, where I have conversation with Baba. But if I am sitting in yoga and only having conversation with Baba, then that is really not complete experience of yoga, because I should give myself time where I've completed my conversation and then I just listen in. I just be with Baba. I let Baba work upon me. I let Baba do what he has to do. And I just be, right? That spiritual stage I can experience then. Yeah. So this is what Baba was saying, that he wants us to experience equality in these 5, 7, 8, whatever stages we mentioned. We will revise it. First was sound versus going beyond sound. So coming into sound is very easy for us. Going beyond sound should also be easy for us, right? Then the second was corporeal and incorporeal. In 1 second, I am in the body doing my karmas, and in the other second, I am completely in my incorporeal soul conscious state. Then third, Baba says, listen and become. I am listening, but I'm also becoming. And then Baba said, churn and imbibe and become absorbed. So I'm churning knowledge, but then I'm also imbibing it into my practical life. And then Baba said, think and practice. So if I have a thought, I shouldn't leave it at the level of thought, but I should bring it into my karmas. I should practice it. Then Baba said, use the organs and go beyond using the organs, right? And then Baba said, use the facilities, but then also go beyond using the facilities. And Baba said, see and connect with everyone, and then see, but don't connect with anyone, right? So you're seeing your people, you're seeing your things, you're seeing nature, you're connecting with everyone as if everyone feels you belong to them. But then in other second, you are seeing, but you are a detached observer. You take a step back and you just watch. You don't allow anything to be absorbed in your chit, in your memory track. And then Baba said, connect and remain detached like a lotus flower. I connect to everyone. You know, have you seen a lotus flower? Underwater, it has a huge family of network. You know, it's connected with many other flowers and roots and whatnot, seeds and a lot of things. But then on top, it appears to be a single flower by itself, right? It remains very, very detached from what's underneath the water. And so I have to become like that, like a lotus flower. Now, Baba says why this equality is needed. This equality is the sign that you're coming close to your karmatit stage. I remember one time Sister Jayanti was here in Peace Village, and she said that balance is the forerunner of perfection. When I attain a stage of balance, I am coming close to my perfection. What is perfection? Perfection is karmatit state, right? I experience that I have finished my business on this planet. There is nothing that is unfinished for which I will have to come back to settle something. So Baba said that this stability in this stage is required. Why? Because when the final paper will come, it will not come from one direction. The final paper will come from all directions. It will come from environment, which will include nature and elements of nature. It will come from other people, right? Outside people. It will come from your own relationships, your own people. It will also come from the lack of the facilities. What you are going through because you don't have have those facilities, what paper those will bring. And so there will be upheaval everywhere around you. There will be chaos. There will be lot of ups and downs. And so in that situation where everything around me is up and down, am I able to center myself? Am I able to ground myself in that state of being peaceful, being loving, being humble, being ready? So Baba is saying that if at that time, or let's say now, in the present moment, if my support is based on the external things, external facilities, external people, external material, whatever, then that external support, if it is giving me experience of having good yoga, or my success is based on that, then that success is not long lasting. I cannot become an embodiment of success because the external supports will go away. So again, I have to ask myself this question, who is my support system? Who am I dependent on? Where do my dependencies lie? And am I constantly ever ready to face the exam that is about to come? Right? And like I said in the beginning, Baba said the definition of constantly ever ready means as soon as the father says, the child should have that stage at that instant, Baba said. Yeah, in that moment, I should immediately have that stage. So let's create this awareness. Let's experience this and create a very, very powerful thought filled with determination that no matter what, wherever I am, in whichever situation I am, however I am, but it is my heart's pure thought that I want to become equal to Baba. I want to come very, very, very close to the Supreme Soul. Yeah, let's remember Baba and create this pure intention for ourselves.
दिल का अब संकल्प यही है, दिल का अब संकल्प यही है, बाबा तुम सा बनना ही है, साथ लिया है, हाथ लिया है, वादा पूरा करना ही है, दिल का अब संकल्प यही है, बाबा तुम सा बनना ही है, साथ लिया है, हाथ लिया है, वादा पूरा करना ही है। कितने तुम तो निरहंकारी, कहते मैं हूँ सेवाधारी, कितने तुम तो निरहंकारी, कहते मैं हूँ सेवाधारी, कैसे प्यार के सागर से जीवन गागर भरना ही है, दिल का अब संकल्प यही है, दिल का अब संकल्प यही है, बाबा तुम सा बनना ही है,
Okay. Om Shanti. So that was the Murli from Baba. Very, very powerful Murli, even though the Murli itself is very short, but it has practices, it has drills, and if we can practice those drills, then Baba is saying you will come very close to me. And who wouldn't want that, right? So we will practice these drills as much as possible and see how close we can come to Baba. So I will stop here. And if anyone has any questions, or if you want to discuss something or comment or share, please feel free. No?
Just amazing, Sister Tina. It was just amazing.
Mhm.
You know, I've already shared, as you were sharing, I was just typing out my feeling about that one point, connecting versus remaining detached. You know,
Mhm.
I was just thinking, and I shared it on the chat box. There is love,
Yeah.
but no Fevicol, please. I don't
Mhm.
want to get stuck to anyone like Fevicol, because my I'm like a puppet, as if somebody is pulling me up. But I care for these people also down,
Mhm. Mhm.
because I want them also to experience that. So I like that one thing which you showed over there. I take the light and I give light to all.
Mhm.
So even though detachment, it's beautiful how connection can do. It was a really lovely thing, a lovely drill, I think I could practice. But I just wanted to ask you, what is the difference between listen versus become and think versus practice? I don't know, I was finding listening and becoming, thinking and practicing. I couldn't get the difference between both.
So listen means like when Baba is speaking the Murli, right? So we listen to the Murli. And when you have good listening skills and you really listen in, then you can also become that in that moment. Let's say, for example, Baba says, child, you have to, become, or Baba is just saying this, right? You haven't become it. Baba is saying that, child, you have to become an angel. So I just heard that point, but then if immediately I emerge my angelic form, I become an angel and I share my light with the world, that is becoming. So there is a difference, no? One, you're listening, okay, Baba is saying this to me, but then am I actually practicing it? Am I becoming an embodiment of that point that Baba just shared? So that is there. And then think and practice. So let's say, for example, yesterday in the Murli, I heard that Baba said you have to be very humble. And then today morning, I said, okay, Baba, I'm going to be very humble. Now I have created this thought for myself, but there will be situations that will come in the daytime. So at that time, I actually have to put that thought into practice, right? So I thought about it, but then did I actually practice it when some situation came, or even just like that during the day? If I'm talking to you, am I talking to you with humility, or am I talking to you with the thing that I have more knowledge and, something like that, or the ego of having knowledge, or ego of being in Gyan for so long, or ego of being a BK, anything it could be. But am I practicing humility in my routine, you know? So I had the thought, but then did I put it into practice? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I think I'll just take it like a line: listen, think, practice, become.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, yeah. Like some people don't have to think, Some people, like for example, Mama was such a soul. She never ever thought what Baba is saying is whether I have to do or not. She would just become. So that's why there is that stage, that Baba talked about. But what you said is fine too. Definitely do that. Any other thoughts? Anything you want to share?
Om Shanti Ji, Divine Family. Wow, Tina sister, what a beautiful experience you have given to all of us. Thank you so much. I loved your class, each class. During each class, I
But
learned new things. through self-reflection. I can't even forget your last class where you have given us 6 month time period to practice that one murli. I'm still working on that, but unfortunately, I still could not print and couldn't find that murli somehow due to my own weakness. I'm still working on that. So it gives me time to reflect on myself. Did I truly understand myself, who I am, and who is he? So as I'm in the beginning stages, so I continuously rewinding myself, going backward again and again, listening to yourself. I'm still working on that. So today you have added more homework on my plate. So I will enjoy. So today, this was my first experience where I got opportunity to experience these 10 different stages, how to go. And your pictures, wow, each slide you bring, they, wow, I can't even, I'm speechless. I don't know how to appreciate. They make perfect sense how to go beyond. So how does, where Baba lives, where I live, how to go above, beyond above. So thank you so much. And please come again and again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Balwinderji, for those words of appreciation. I appreciate that. But also, just so you know, that homework of 6 months was given by Baba. It was mentioned in that Murli, and maybe Rakhi Ben, if you can help her to get that Murli, I can give you the date.
No, she tried to help me, but it's only me. I was not able to find that Murli and print it. She helped me a lot. It's not her fault. It's all my
No,
fault.
it's not about fault. It's just that she can help you again if you're not able to find.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll
thank you.
resend that Murli to you. Don't worry.
But it is Baba who gave the homework, and these 10 points are also from the Murli itself. They're spoken by Baba. So
Yeah, that was wonderful class, lesson 1 for me, and I'm still working on that. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
Om
thank you. Om Shanti.
She summed up beautifully what you have really created, I think, because Balwinder has got a way of really expressing love to all. But there's only one thing, Ina sister, this, I find it difficult in this corporeal, in the body, out the body. Sometimes I read this book on OB, out of body experiences, how the soul leaves the body, it's up at the ceiling, it looks at its own body, but I'm not able to do it. You tell me to go beyond sound, go to Paramdham, and somewhere something I'm saying, hey, if I leave the body and go, what if suppose I'm not able to return to the body? I don't know how to share what do I feel.
Yeah, it's a fear, no?
That in the body and outside the body, I don't know, a kind of
So what
something
you
is
can
there.
do is, let's say, for example, you went to Paramdham, and while your return journey, you did whatever you had to do with Baba, your conversation, your filling in powers, all of that is done. And then now you had the thought to return back to the physical world. So you're coming back. But when you pass through subtle region, you adorn your angelic form, right? And in your angelic form, you come down. When you come down, you see yourself crossing all the boundaries again. You see yourself coming through the galaxy, coming through the planets, crossing the sun, the moon, the stars, coming into the element of sky, into the planet, into this home or this house where you're sitting. And then you stand in front of your physical body. So your angelic form is standing or sitting, whatever, in front of your physical form. So the physical form doesn't have a soul in that moment. It's just a physical form. And you, the soul, is in the angelic form sitting in front of the physical form. And you send light to the physical form. You send appreciation to the physical form. You send whatever, energies you want to send. So you see that distinction between I and my. You realize that, yes, I am the soul, the master, and this is my body, and I appreciate my body for being such a good cooperative companion. And then you will realize that the corporeal form is different and the incorporeal form is different. But also what Baba is saying is not completely seeing yourself out of body. What Baba is saying is that corporeal form means you are experiencing your angelic form, more to say, because it's like you're in the body, but you are in that angelic form, in this as a soul, in that angelic form, in that corporeal form. You're doing whatever actions have to be done on the physical plane. But when you don't have any actions to perform, then you become a tiny point of light. You don't need physical body at that time, right? So that is what Baba is saying. So you can practice this and see if it helps you. But I understand what you're saying. When you go too much beyond, you can feel a little scared that you might not return back. In my initial days when I came into Gyan, while sitting in yoga, I used to feel that I'm flying. I used to feel that somebody's pulling me. I don't know if this was my imagination or what, but there was a very, very strong pull. And I would feel that I'm going too high. And then suddenly my yoga would break because I would get a little scared. What if I don't come back, you know? So, but then I had to create that safe distance between I and my. So you have to create that safe distance between I and my. You have to leave body consciousness. That body consciousness sometimes becomes an obstacle. So I think I understand what you're saying, but yeah, you can try this practice and see if that helps you. I don't know if anybody else wants to add anything to that.
This was quite an experiential space that you shared, Tina Ben and Girija Ben. There is a factor of fear कि कहाँ जा रहे हैं, and that's just been easy, making oneself easy to move forward with that experience. It's an access that you gave. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? So shall we just take a moment of silence and end, because we did quite a...
has just unmuted himself. Do you have any questions?
Om Shanti. Sister, no questions. So I really enjoyed the session. So it was wonderful. So many insights, and also gave you a very good way to churn the Murli and how we should practice. So I got a lot of ideas. So just wanted to express my gratitude for and also giving time, and thank you so much. This gave a lot of insights and a lot of ideas how to work on this Vyakt Murlis, a different perspective I got. So thank you, sister. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Sure, you're welcome very much. So Balvinder Ben is asking, as a beginner, how many minutes you recommend to stay up above? At least 5 minutes, at least. If you can do a 20 minutes of meditation total, including going up, having heart-to-heart conversation, and then being in the soul world and then coming back, that is a good starting place. But in Paramdham itself, if you can be like 5-10 minutes, that is good. Longer you are, the more you will experience the power of silence. Okay, so let's just take a moment of silence and remember Baba, express our gratitude to him for giving us such beautiful drills to practice and helping us to come close to him and become equal to him. Thank you everyone for participating. Have a wonderful day ahead. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Tina Ben. It was an effective joining from your side. Thank you, Divine Family, and see you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Till that time, have a wonderful day.